Today, oil companies, if any provider is there, who can give a satisfactory services even after sales, definitely oil companies will go ahead with this project again. Because today, the quality of adulteration and all different things are taking place. The customer demands the quality and timely product. I am sure that if the service providers or the manufacturers whoever is assembled here, they can approach the companies to make an attempt to get again into their system so that the government of India, which is all the oil companies are running, definitely support the system, and I am sure that there will be a bright future for the providers in our country. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Ram. I was quite excited yesterday, not yesterday, but maybe 2 days back, when Manish informed me that he has put my name in this panel discussion. The only thing which shocked me immediately is that is a completely wrong topic on which I can't speak. It's something to do with spatial data and mapping. This is not definitely my specialization. I don't know which is my specialization now, but certainly not this. But I was, later on, I got excited for the simple reason, because I thought there's a huge amount of governmental authorities who would be there. The NIC, the SOI, and the NSDI. And they are the so-called repository of the entire data, the spatial data of the country. We have one of the most extensive spatial data in the world. However, the utilization of this resource has been very poor. Okay, I'm not talking about e-governance. I'm not talking about thematic mapping. I'm not talking about so many things where government has a deep involvement either through state governments or through their own agencies, where certainly very, very commendable what is going on. But I thought that this silly little VTS industry, which seemed to be left behind somewhere on the corner, this industry would possibly, somebody should be trying to tell them that what do we expect from this huge repository of data, which could help us, this industry, to go forward and come to a stage where they could possibly give a commercial service to the entire commercial sector of the country, make themselves profitable, make the whole industry profit out of the efficiency and security which is introduced. And in the process, they actually create a whole business. Today, the VTS business, telematics business, or whatever name we give it, is virtually not even infant. I think it's about to be born. And it's trying to be born. Because 7 years, 8 years, we have been into this industry. These days, I used to initially lecture a lot of people telling what GPS is, and GPS, what is the difference between Navstar and GPS. Now, these things have now gone to even the smallest truck driver who owns a single truck. You ask him, and he knows, GPS bhi lagana hai, that kind of thing. So therefore, the awareness has been created, but has the industry as a whole, has it got back the incentive or the business based on which any industry grows? I think that's where either collectively all of us who are in the supply side have failed, very definitely. The other side is that maybe the governmental patronage which is necessary, maybe there were some gaps. Maybe we could not lobby for ourselves, maybe we did not ask for right things in right times, or maybe the industry was a little casual about it. You see, logistic efficiency is the efficiency which will decide who will be the market leader in any product sector tomorrow and who is not. Manufacturing business, the marginal efficiency from one manufacturing process to another, from one competitor to another is very, very low. The real profitabilities or real leadership positions in any market segment will come from logistics. This is a general discussion which is going on worldwide today. And if you really add the security dimension to it, like the pharmaceutical industry we heard of in the morning, or so many other industries, it actually becomes very important. So then what I did is, sorry, I'm taking a little more time because anyway, we have to discuss for an hour. So I said that if supposing my three bosses, three big government, NSDI and NIC and SOI are there, then why, from the industry side, what can I put forward? I invite participation from others also. But what I thought is that we should now, I think we should claim some amount of maturity. Although we have not done much business, but we certainly have attained some amount of maturity, what we call technical maturity. Technical maturity in terms of vehicle-based hardware, in terms of interfaces, in terms of instrumentation, in terms of authentication interfaces, in terms of even the server-side programming. Server-side, even to the extent of going to very extensive GIS planning and GIS-based activities. This maturity is there. The problem is that we have not been able to sell. Time and again, I'm repeating the whole process. And now, at this point of time, what are the issues we are facing? We are facing, you see, there are commercial, Mr. Verma is there, that's why I thought that maybe he can speak after me, because he can also contribute to that. The point is there are commercial map vendors, like MapMyIndia. They have been doing very well. But I'm not sure that they could have done any better or not. I think they could have done a little better. In case the VTS industry as a whole could possibly follow certain standards and certain. Now, what are the issues? The issues is, I said there are three things which NSDI being an apex body, should be able to, they are doing extremely commendable work. I think the map policy of 2005 was a revolution, in my view. We have not done anything after freedom to that extent in GIS, this thing. 2005 map policy was a real revolution. And after that, the formation of NSDI, or NSDI was there earlier also, but that apex body and all the participation of all the special, this thing, even the state level involvements, that has created an organization of spatial data in India. And like any other industry, what we should do is we should really focus on three parts. One part is, first thing is, as far as the spatial data is concerned, have we been able to set up a standard in terms of data model, what do you call data model? If the data model is standardized from the source side as well as the user side, then what happens is all our application become interoperability. If you have heard this term, interoperability is the primary term which NSDI uses while defining the spatial data. What is this interoperability? Interoperability is the thing that the standards are so, the data models are so clear that anybody, even a small vendor to a big vendor to a government agency, at least the data model, that means the structure of the schematic is more or less uniform. Okay, the standards are. And they have done very good work on that. The metadata standards of NSDI has come out. Of course, it will go through a lot of evolutions, but definitely that is there. So as far as standardization is concerned, there is a very, very major work has been done. And I think all people should come to some kind of standard national data model as quick as possible. We may not have all the data, but at least the model structure of the model must be standardized. And it has been standardized, and we should all follow that. Now the second issue which is there is that the second issue which is there is that there has to be some kind of standard data package, basic data package, which could be made available to the BTS industry as an infrastructure by the government. Okay, people might obviously have objections to that. What I'm trying to say is, if you really try to spread this industry, you want to make everybody really do well for themselves, there has to be some basic data which should be sold by the government, by maybe NSDI, specifically for this industry. And this product, I'm talking about this data as a product, which is actually licensed, has to be something where the relevant layers or relevant data relevant to this industry should be there. You see, people talk about the scale. I think every discussion on GIS and mapping and this thing hovers around scale. But what is very wrong in this thing is, I'm not talking about scale. Supposing I'm a VTS industry, first thing is I do not really need to know beyond the so-called block address. I really don't need to know what is the so-called non-road areas, except that big water bodies or forest areas. Or this is not relevant to me. What is extremely relevant to me is the road network. What I have has to be as accurate as possible. It's not the scale. I'm talking about the accuracy of, or the updated updation frequency of the data which I'm getting as per the map network, road network is concerned. So as per my suggestion from this industry, we can always add, subtract, and I'm just a suggestion that for transport, for this VTS industry, or maybe for so-called commercial tracking industry, let's call it commercial tracking industry. If NIC can do that, that's great, that will be great. That you actually give licenses to people, okay? And you actually give the data to us. It's not that we are matured people, we know how to, I'm taking a risk, registered, I'm becoming a registered user of your data. So I'll protect the data, I'll not allow it to leak because I'm officially, this thing. So what are the layers I'm talking about? I'm talking about a fairly large national road network as well as city road network. City road network, you might have a one step down, there is a 4th level road or 5th level road, unmetalled small roads also. Because city situation is fairly heavily dense. So but for national level, you can have certain category of roads, up to certain category of roads. And this, so therefore line entities like road network, polylines. The second would be as per the polygons are concerned. So obviously political boundaries, district boundaries, even tehsil boundaries, which could be made available, boundaries. The other, desirable features of polygons would be that if you can give either pin code boundaries, or I'll be even more gladder in case you can give us the police station boundaries for the whole country. So it is a standard data where it says that these are the police station, and when you are giving that, if you can add some attributes for those police stations, in terms of phone numbers or contact addresses or something like that. So what happens is that I have in the polygons, I can typically have a political boundaries as well as police boundaries or maybe postal boundaries and things like that. And maybe some other suggestions which might come in. Then at the point level, what are my demands? My demands are that I have typically three types of emergency which happens and which I monitor as per the security is concerned. One is what I call security emergency. And typically for any commercial service, which is the security agency we talk to the police, right? So therefore, wherever the event is occurring, and I'm getting a signal saying that yes, this car is hijacked, or this truck is waylaid, or whatever, the alarm I am getting, what value I can give back to the customer? I can immediately tell him that this is the police station nearest to you, this is the police station, this is the phone number, this is where you can, so he can immediately get a SMS saying that yes, if this alert has happened, I should be talking to this number to connect the police station who can come and rescue me. I'm just generally talking, detailing has to be done. So therefore, as a point layer, I can give a police station point layer, or maybe as a centrum of, you don't have to really physically show where the police station is. If you can show, it's nothing like it. But what I'm interested is, I have within this boundary, this is really accessible to this police station. So I am not running helter-skelter to know which police station jurisdiction I'm coming to. Okay. The second requirement is the health emergency. Somebody has fallen sick, maybe a passenger car has fallen sick, or maybe something has happened, somebody is injured, some accident has happened, somebody is really very seriously injured. So you have the health emergency. Now when you have the health emergency, what we need the hospital or dispensaries which is nearest, okay, including the private facility. So therefore, if the second layer I'm wanting is the health facilities, hospitals, dispensaries, and any health facility. The third emergency, of course, is what we call breakdown emergency. Now, breakdown emergency, there is no universal database in terms of telling you where the wayside mechanic is. But what it will certainly give is the petrol stations or even any service stations which are there. So therefore, as per the automobile industry is concerned, if you can make this part available as a point layer, again with the similar data as the police station data is, or a hospital data is,